Don't you worry, the clip's about to begin, but don't forget to subscribe. Or else. Don't make me turn this website around.
Let's see. The next caller's Taylor from Kentucky. And their father has gone no contact because of his homophobia from his church and would like to discuss it. Apparently, they got married last year. So, hi there, Taylor. How you doing?
Hi. I just got to mention, I am so nervous now that I just heard that beat. But yeah, I got married back in June to my wife, and I have not heard from my father since then. He didn't show up to the wedding, decided that having a gay child was too much. Not to mention the day that I did come out to him, the very first question that he asked was, "Do you believe in God?" And so I had to come out twice, which was amazing. But
yeah.
In this area of Kentucky, it's very, country rural. Not many religions around here are pro-homosexuality, that sort of stuff. I don't know how it is in your all's home states necessarily, and I have found some churches that are okay with it, but most of the time it's just kind of pandering, not necessarily hey, we're going to host your wedding here, that sort of stuff. But I didn't know necessarily the types of stories that you've heard from other people in the queer community, how their parents have handled it, or if you have any sort of, advice on how to deal with a homophobic father who's really stuck in his ways in the church.
Well, I have a homophobic father who's stuck in his ways in the church. It's never really been an issue for me because I'm not gay. But yeah, I'm not going to be good at giving you advice because I'll tell you what went through my head, Taylor, when you were talking about this. When you said you got married, what went through my head was congratulations. When you said you got married to your wife, what went through my head was congratulations. When you said you hadn't heard from your father since you got married, what went through my head was congratulations. Because if somebody is going to be that opposed to who you are, then they're a toxic influence on your life. And I know you're desperately going to want to, hope that maybe your dad comes around. And I would agree that, just keep being you, let your dad know that the door is open, but it's not open to bullshit. It's not open to somebody trying to make you feel bad about who you are or who you love. And that if he wants to be a part of your life, he's welcome to be a part of your life, provided he's not a toxic part of your life.
Yeah, I completely agree with.
Oh, sorry, John.
Oh no, that's fine. I was gonna say I completely agree with Matt here. I mean, you can't exactly force him, to be okay with it, obviously. And I hate that you're having to go through this, but I am, like Max said, glad that you don't have that kind of toxic thing in your life because, I mean, if you think about it, if he was still in your life, going to, family gatherings and everything like that, it's always going to be a stressful kind of situation. And you're going to develop this, aversion to actually, being around, the family or being around him and everything. And just, being open to, talking to him and letting him know that the door's always open if he ever wants to quit being a baby about it and, I guess, get with the times, I guess, and realize that, the LGBTQ community is not anything to shun or be afraid of or hate. I think that while it hurts to not have your father in your life, to have, I'm not exactly sure if you had all that great of a relationship with him prior, but I know it might hurt not to have his presence in your life. But, I think not having that toxic influence in your life is going to be a net positive. But always being the bigger person, and making sure that he knows that the door is always open for him to start talking to you and everything, I think is the most that you can do. Ultimately, the only person that is going to be able to change his mind is himself. I don't know what kind of person your father is, but I mean, if he's pretty diehard Christian and fundamentalist Christian at that, then I mean, he might not feel anything cutting you out of his life. He may not care. I hate to say that, but that is the situation with some people that are that deep into the faith. And I think that just leaving the door open is the best that you can do.
Are you an only child, Taylor?
Well, I appreciate it. I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, I'm going to say something that people are going to jump on me for a little bit. Your dad is probably grieving a bit because life has not turned out the way he hoped and imagined. And for that, I'm fine with exercising a little compassion. But when John earlier said when he stops being a baby about it, he fucking nailed it right there, because your dad is upset that life has not turned out the way that he imagined. He's upset that you didn't find a man and produce a grandchild for him that way. And other things that, you've turned your back on God and God has given you over to a reprobate mind. He is a victim of his religion, and he is a victim of that kind of ancient bigotry. And there's nothing wrong with you exercising some compassion. However, I don't give a fuck if someone's related to me by blood or not directly. Your family when you act like family. And if someone who I'm not related to at all treats me better than the people I am blood kin to, then they're my family. And the rest of those relatives can piss off. And so you need to make sure that you're setting the boundaries in your life. Give your dad as much room as you can to grow and change and get better at it. But you don't owe anybody an explanation, and you don't need to let anybody make demands on your life to fit their desires.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have spoken to my heart in a way that a lot of people haven't been able to, just understanding religious ideologies and understanding, how it is, how toxic that kind of stuff is. And luckily, my wife has deconverted, so at least we get to talk like that at home. But most of the time, whenever I go about my day and somebody mentions, "Oh, have you talked to your dad recently?" it's hard for them to understand that. So I appreciate you all so much. Y'all are doing amazing work. Thank y'all so much. And that's all I have. So thank y'all. Bye.
Thank you, Taylor. I get up to Kentucky from time to time when there's not a pandemic, usually around Glendale. So maybe one of these days we'll get to have a drink.
Yeah. I think one of the last times I saw you was years ago, but it was at the Psi 10 debate that you did, that was actually the first time that I met you. So I can't wait for this pandemic thing to be over, and maybe we can meet up again.
Oh yeah, but if this pandemic is over and you and I don't hang out, I don't ever want to talk to you again. That's just mean. Why would you do that to me?
My wife just invited you to come here. We're gonna have a spare bedroom so you can sleep there. That's what she said.
I loved hearing her laugh earlier. So.
Yeah, she's got an infectious laugh for sure.
Hey, thanks for checking out this clip for The Line. While you're here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then share this with that bitter uncle of yours who loves talking about the good old days.